Hello everyone and welcome back to Color Scholar. In today's video, I will show you how you can make realistic embroidery effect using Photoshop. It is pretty simple and we will use layer style to achieve this result. However, I will also provide you with some actions that you can use to get this effect even quickly. So let's get started. So we are here in Photoshop and you can check the description down below for all the necessary assets for this project. Let's create a new document with width 1100 and height 600. After that, bring the texture to the document. Rotate 90 degree clockwise and fill the canvas with the texture. Now create a new layer on top of the texture. Let's name the texture as texture background. We can delete this empty background and selecting this new layer, fill it with white. Go to filter, render and clouds. Again go to filter, filter gallery. Go to brush strokes and select crosshatch and keep the setting as stroke length 15, sharpness is 16 and strength is 2. Click OK. Now change the blend mode to soft light and reduce the opacity to about 50%. You can change the color of the textured layer through color overlay style. If you double click on this gray area, a layer style will open up. Go to color overlay. Keep the blend mode as color and you can choose any kind of color you want for your texture. Now we need to create a couple of brushes to imitate the stitch effect. For this, create a new document of 27 by 5 pixels and fill it with black. Again go to edit, define brush preset and name it stitch. Now open the brush panel by pressing F5 or you can go to Windows and select brush settings. Go to brushes, select the stitch brush we just created, go to brush settings and change the following adjustments for the brush. Angle will be 90 degrees, roundness is 50% and spacing is 87%. Then go to shape dynamics and change the angle jitter to direction. Now go to the top right corner and select new brush preset, name it stitch 1 and press OK. Now we need one more brush. For that, go to brush. Again select the stitch that we created originally. Go to brush settings. Go to brush tip. Make the spacing as 750. And in shape dynamics, again the angle jitter will be direction. Go again over here, new brush preset and name it as stitch 2. So the necessary brushes are now ready for us. You can close this window as we don't need it. Let's rename this layer as texture. Besides the embroidery effect, if you want to give some sewing effect as well, we can do that. Select the rectangle tool from here and create a rectangle so that it is a little bit beyond the top and the left and right side of the canvas. Make sure the fill is white. Now go to filter and distort and go to wave. Select convert to smart object and change the following settings. Number of generators will be 5, wavelength will be minimum 13 and maximum 14. Amplitude will be 10 and 11 for minimum and maximum, and horizontal will be 1, vertical 3. Type will be sign and repeat edge pixels will be clicked. Now again go to filter, blur, select Gaussian blur and blur it with the radius 0.7 pixels. Change the blend mode to multiply. And now we are going to add some layer style to this rectangle. For that, double click on this empty gray area. The layer style will open up. First select the drop shadow. Blend mode is multiply. Color is 131 E26. Opacity is 90%. Angle is 120 degrees. Distance is 4. Size is 9. Then go to inner shadow. Blend mode is multiply. The color is same as before, 131 E26. Opacity is 45. Angle is minus 90. Distance is 11 and size is 6. Go to inner glow. Change the blend mode to color dodge. Opacity is 30%. Color is pure white. Size is 10. And finally, to bevel and emboss, style is inner bevel, technique is smooth, depth is 500, size is 4, soften 6, angle keep it at 90, altitude at 30, keep global light checked. For highlight mode, select color dodge, color is pure white, opacity is 80%, shadow mode, blend mode is multiply, 85% is the opacity and the color is black, and press OK. If the effect is too harsh, you can even reduce the opacity, let's say 90%. Rename the layer as border. Now create another new layer, name it as stitch. We're going to apply stitch now. Select your brush tool and select stitch number 2. Keep the size at 13 pixels. Make sure the opacity and flow is at 100%. And draw a straight line. For that I'm going to use the scale to bring it down right here. And I'll use my brush. I'll just dab it at one end. Then I'll go to another end and I'll hold my shift on my keyboard. And if I press again, I get a straight line. Pressing B will bring out my move tool and I'll bring this line below. And B for brush, and again I'll do the same thing right here. I'll hold my shift to make a straight line. After that I can remove this line. Now I'm going to add some layer style to the stitch layer, and by double clicking I can open my layer style. Again, drop shadow, blend mode will be soft light, opacity is 100%, angle is at 115 degrees, distance is 5, size is 2. Inner glow, blend mode is multiply, opacity at 32% and size will be 2. Then bevel and emboss, style will be outer bevel, depth is 100%, direction is down, size is 4 and soften is 6. In the highlight mode, the blend mode is overlay, the color will be gray, you can choose any gray color, opacity is at 100%. For shadow mode, the blend mode is multiply and opacity is at 31%. Then go to stroke, size will be 3, position is outside, blend mode is overlay, opacity is at 21% and the color is black, pure black, and press OK. Now go to filter, distort and ripple, select the amount as 30% and size is small. Now create another new layer, name it Ripple. Take your brush tool, go to brush setting and choose the soft round brush that is available by default. Then bring about the brush panel by pressing F5. Go to brush tip, change the size to 50, angle will be 90, roundness is 45 and spacing will be 150. Collapse it and make two straight lines on top, and we'll use the same technique. Just tab at the end, go to another one, and by holding shift you'll get a straight line. Similarly down below as well, tab right here, hold the shift and tab again. Now change the blend mode to overlay and the opacity to 40%. And add a drop shadow again. The color will be 0F1114. Blend mode is color burn. Distance is 8. Size and spread are 0. Let's keep the opacity at 80%. Angle is 120. Use global light and press OK. So now the background is ready. Let's make embroidered text now. Let us collapse all these layers. Now create a new layer again. Name it embroidered text. And with your text tool, just click on this area, bring it between and type in anything you want. I'm going to type euphoria. I'll make the text a little bigger. I'll bring it a little down like so. Let's make it 42. That's okay. And I'll increase the spacing between the characters, height as well, and okay. Now double click on this gray area again, go to stroke, keep the size at 3, position will be inside, blend mode will be normal and opacity at 100% and click OK. After that, convert the text layer to a smart object. Now we're going to add some more layer style by double clicking it. Select the drop shadow first. The blend mode will be multiply, color is black. The opacity is 75% and angle is 120 degrees with global light checked on. The distance will be 2 and size will be 3. Now to inner shadow, the color is black and the blend mode is normal. Opacity will be at 51%. Let's keep the angle at 66% degrees, Distance is 2 and size is 5. Then go to bevel and emboss. Style is inner bevel. Technique is smooth. Depth at 184. Direction is up. Size will be 10. Angle will be 120 degrees with global light. Altitude is 30 degrees. In highlight mode, it is overlay with pure white. And shadow mode, it's multiply with 39% opacity and pure black. In bevel and emboss, there's texture, so click on the texture, go to pattern and select the pixel pattern diagonal. I'll provide the link for download. Keep the scale and depth at 100%. Now go to color overlay, change the blend mode to normal. Opacity will be at 100 and color will be gray. And press OK. Now let's convert this layer to smart object again so that we are able to add some more layer style to this without rasterizing the previous effects. Duplicate this smart object layer by pressing Ctrl+J. Name it as shadow and bring the layer below. Now again open the layer style for embroidered text and go to inner shadow. The color will be pure black. Blend mode is multiply. Opacity is 38%. Distance will be 3. Size is 5. Let's keep the angle at about 135. Go to bevel and emboss. Style is inner bevel. Technique is smooth. Depth will be 62. Direction is up. Size is 16. And angle is 39 with altitude 21. Uncheck the global light. Go to highlight mode and select overlay at 87% opacity, and shadow mode is multiply with 32% opacity. Go to color overlay again, select the color, any color you want. I'm going to use this color. Change the color blend mode to color and opacity at 100%. Lastly, go to gradient overlay. Blend mode is soft light. Opacity is at 70% and the style is reflected. Angle is 90 degrees and scale is 100. And click OK. To make the effect more realistic, let's add another filter. Go to filter, distort and select ripple. Keep the amount at 25 and size at small and press OK. Again go to filter, noise, add noise and put the amount as 3%. Distribution is Gaussian and monochromatic. Press OK. These two effects are applied as smart filters and you can edit them at any time by double clicking on the filter name. Let's collapse this layer. Now go to shadow layer and set the fill to 0%. Next add a bevel and emboss for this as well. Just click, make sure the white is pure white and black is pure black. And press OK. Collapse this layer. Now we will create a stitched borders for our text. For that we need to create a new layer below shadow, and by pressing Ctrl on my keyboard, if I click on this new layer, a new layer will be created below. Let's name it stitched border. Now with holding your Ctrl key on the keyboard, click on the thumbnail for embroidered text to select the text. Go to select, modify and expand it by about 4 pixels. Then go to the paths tab, right click over here and select make work path. Tolerance is 2. Now select your brush tool, go to the option and select stitch brush 1. Keep the size at about 13. Make sure the opacity and flow are at 100%. Again go to this icon and select stroke path, and in tools select brush and press OK. Now you can delete this work path. Just drag it to this bin and go back to layers panel. Now we'll add some layer style to this layer as well. Double clicking will bring out the layer style. Go to drop shadow, blend mode is multiply and color will be 161616. Opacity will be 75%. Angle is 120 degrees with global light checked. Distance is 1 and spread and size are 0. Go to inner shadow. The same color will be used. Blend mode is multiply. The opacity is 100 and the angle is -47 degrees. And let's keep distance as well as choke and size at 0. Go to bevel and emboss. Style is inner bevel. Technique is smooth. Depth will be at 100%. Direction is up. Size is 5. Angle is 120 degrees with global light checked. Altitude will be 30 degrees. And for highlight mode, it is overlay with pure white at opacity 21%. And for shadow mode, it's multiply blend mode with the same color that we have been using, 161616, at opacity 72%. Go to color overlay, make the blend mode to multiply, keep the opacity at 100 and choose the color F5, 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 gray color or slightly gray color, and press OK. Let's collapse this one, and that is how you can create an embroidery effect in Photoshop. Now we can do one more thing. Just go to bevel and emboss for this embroidered text and click on the texture. It will bring out more details. Press OK and create a new layer. Select your brush tool, go to hard round brush and make the size about 3, and right below from the A, let's make a couple of strings. They don't need to be perfect. And after that, if you hold Alt on your keyboard and drag this effect to this layer, it will be applied as well, and we can have the strings effect, and we can even add in a drop shadow as well, or a couple of drop shadows. Yeah, that's okay. And now they look like a couple of threads coming out of A. Now I will show you how you can use Action that is available to download below in description to create this amazing effect much quicker. You can bring about the action by clicking right here. There is no action right now. So when you download your action, it will come in this shape. Just double click and it will open up in Photoshop. Now you can see this embroidery text effect. There are 3 effects. This stitch effect will bring about this stitch design, and embroidered text will bring this yellow design, and the stitch border will bring about the strings or the stitch around the text. So let's create a new document, and let's bring a new texture, fill the canvas, press enter. Now what you can do is, let me show you all 3 of them how they work. Select your brush and go down here and select stitch number 2. Let's keep the size as 13. New layer, and just dab and holding shift, dab again. Bring this one below as well and do the same thing. Dab right here and holding shift again right here. Now with this layer selected, stitch, you can go to action and selecting stitch. If you play the action, you can see all the layer stars are being applied. Let's collapse it. Now bring in a vector image. Let's try it with a vector image now. Let's bring in the skull, make it a little smaller, and this purple line indicates that the skull is at the center of the canvas, so it's okay. Now press OK, and with this cranium selected, run the action embroidered text effect. It will say the command move is not currently available. So click stop, bring the shadow down, select the cranium again and run again. Continue. You can see the effect has been applied. Now go to shadow. Like we did before, the fill will be 0, and let's add bevel and emboss for it. After that, go to stitch border and play. The command set is not currently available. Stop the action. Hold the control on the keyboard and click on the thumbnail to make the selection of the skull. Then play the action. And this effect came up because we have selected the wrong brush. So I'm going to do a couple of Ctrl+J, and I'll go to brush and select stitch number 1, make the size at 12 or 11, opacity and flow at 100, color is white. Now I'm going to play it again. I'll stop for once, I'll make the selection, play again, and that's it. With a couple of clicks, the effect is applied. So that's how you can use your accents. And that is how you can make realistic embroidery effect in Photoshop. You can even use vector images like I showed you. So that is all for today. I hope you learned something new, and if you did, please like the video and subscribe my channel. Thanks again for watching. I hope to see you back for some more. See you next time on Color Scholar.